Hey y'all, MD here. You ever wait for an album so long you start reconsidering your life choices? I haven't. Anyway, after close to 8 years, ASAP Rocky has finally dropped his newest album, Don't Be Dumb. And oh boy, I suppose you could say this album goes dumb? Let's start off with the title track, Order of Protection. I enjoyed the ethereal beat on this. It has some pretty good backing vocals, and the vocal inflection reminds me of Future a bit. Helicopter was the second of the 2 singles released for this album, honestly, being the one I prefer over Punk Rocky, which is still a great song. I just prefer Rocky's rapping. The beat is great, pretty bass heavy. At first, this song was leaked in a group buy that had a Playboy Cardi verse on it, which was completely horrible. I'll play a short snippet now. After this comes Stay Here for Life. This song is about Rocky being in love with Rihanna. The outro adds onto this, with Rocky saying that he isn't a player and that he just wants to settle down with his wife. The beat's soft and cushiony, perfect for a song of this nature. The next song is called Player, where Rocky uses double entendres to compare his love for Rihanna to basketball, like shooting your shot. The beat, similarly to Stay Here for Life, is twinkly and soft, with some light-sounding piano and Rocky nearly whispering on some parts of the song. No Trespassing is up next with an odd-sorting sound of ping on the beat. I can't figure out what exactly it is. It sort of reminds me of like a sonar, but it does sound pretty cool. The chorus is pretty catchy as well. Stop Snitching samples a Leroy Hutson song, Give This Love a Try, which I haven't heard of before writing the script, but it is pretty good. I feel like the random sample of a phone being dialed doesn't very much add to the song, but Sauce Walker does flow pretty well over the beat, and I do enjoy his verse. Next up is STFU. This song is probably in my top 3 favorites of the entire album, just because of just how off the wall it is. The beat is more akin to Death Grips than any mainstream rap that I've ever heard of. There's a funny line about eating cats on here. Kalo K, I think that's how you pronounce it. His verse on here had me thinking that Rocky had gotten RXK Nephew on a song, like a Slitherman voice, something like that. The ending is oddly catchy as well, where shut the fuck up is just repeated for like 30 seconds. After this is Punk Rocky. This was the first single released for the album, and it seemed to be somewhat controversial among music nerds, specifically Fantano. People didn't seem to like that Rocky was singing instead of rapping, but I do like this song. The beat's soft and mellow, being about recovering from a breakup. Rocky himself admits that on the song he doesn't even like breakup songs. Compounding with this is the fact that he hasn't publicly had his heart broken yet, which puzzles me a bit as to why he would really write a song like this. And the backing vocals by Cristofori Donati are pretty nice. I do like those. The beat for Air Force is actually teased at the end of the Helicopter music video, similar to how STFU was featured at the start of the Punk Rocky video. The beat has some electronic beeps as well as a pretty hard-hitting bass loop. Later on, the song switches to a slightly more cloudy beat with some nice piano. The chorus has been stuck in my head for a while. Whiskey is one of those songs which just kind of boggles my mind as to how it came into existence. The song discusses how Rocky has experienced success, as well as the negative impact that whiskey has had on his life. I find that West Side Gun's ad-libs tend to take away from the more introspective nature of the song, especially the last one, where he says boom about 10 times in a row. Robbery begins with a more swing, jazzy type beat over saxophones and piano. Doechii features on the song, and I find that she flows pretty well over the beat. I can kind of understand why some people would be hesitant to enjoy the song with her song Anxiety being near universally panned. I don't think I know anyone who actually likes it. But overall, I do enjoy Rocky and Doechii's dynamic on the song. Up next is Don't Be Dumb. It has some more sentimental lyrics. Looping of the beat has the word dumb being said by some sort of electronic voice being looped over and over again, which does work surprisingly well. Which does make me realize that a lot of songs are about love on this album. And apparently it samples Clairo, which been out of left field if you ask me. The End, probably my least favorite song on the album because of just how depressing it is. I don't like sad songs, if I'm going to be honest. I don't like sad movies. I don't like anything sad. Which is kind of why I'm hesitating to make this one-shot video, because I don't know how it's going to make me feel. If you know, you know. It's like 3 people who know what I'm talking about. From the repeated sample of This Is the Way the World Ends from Ebony Glass by Nancy Pretty to Rocky bringing up climate change and school shootings, it's a pretty severe contrast from the other more upbeat songs on the album. It's really not my thing, but I do enjoy the trilling beat that appears sometimes. After that is SWAT Team. It's got a pretty abrasive beat compared to The End, I suppose. It's got some pretty cool bells, I believe, on it. Chorus does that kind of like future thing voice that he does. And there's a strange kind of like reverberating noise on the beat as well. The final song on the album was Fish and Steak, What It Is. I'm kind of disappointed by this one too. The beat feels pretty lackluster for an album that's had spectacular production up until then. Tyler's verse doesn't sound as good as it could be compared to something like a Who Dat Boy or POV. It being the last track of the album does leave a bit of a sour taste in my mouth. I think it could be sort of alleviated by moving a track around, just having a Stop Snitching or Helicopter on here. And if you listen to the album, you probably noticed that I've skipped over a track. Before I address that, I wanted to mention the cover art Rocky used for his singles, as well as this next track. They all seem to be based off of retro video games, an aesthetic which I personally really enjoy. Alright, now let's get into the best as well as the catchiest track on this album. Some of you may not have known this, but I have never liked Drake. As a teen, I never really gravitated towards his music, and as I grew older, I got a job at Taco Bell for a few months. This one cook in the kitchen would always bring a shitty Bluetooth speaker with him and blast Drake music, and as I worked at the drive-thru, I started to realize that Drake has not put out something above a 4 out of 10 for over 10 years. Needless to say, I was super happy when Kendrick Lamar started some beef with him, which led to the release of one of his better songs, Family Matters. I mean, as much of a Kendrick stan as I am, I can admit that song was pretty decent. This song was part of the fallout of that beef, with Rocky being dissed on Family Matters due to his relationship with Rihanna, who Drake had a brief thing with in the past. This song may be almost 2 years too late, but oh boy did it feel good to hear someone making a song dissing Drake again. My first listen to this song was in my car while getting some coffee, and when I heard that beat start, I felt like I was going to die of happiness. This is probably the best song on the album, but I don't foresee a response by Drake anytime soon, unless he drops that Iceman project as he's been teasing for about the last 6 months. I should probably talk about the song now. The beat goes incredibly hard. Amazing production by Kelvin Crash, Icy Twat, and Danny Elfman. Produced some film scores for, small indie hits like Edward Scissorhands and Nightmare Before Christmas. Rocky's flow over the harsh beat is also immaculate. Overall, I would give this album an 8.2 out of 10. There are some weak points on this album, but the highs are enough to somewhat look past them. Also, you can tell this is my genuine opinion because this will hopefully be uploaded before Fantano's review. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Comment your favorite Chinese food in the comments if you watched this far.